Welcome everybody to another Photogijoehero opening and rating. Today I have a set. They look very much the same, but they're not quite the same. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But these are from the corpselite. We have Ogre, Axel Braw's Anti-Core Division, and Snakebite. Nasha Raven, Team Terra. Okay. Faction Face Off. These figures came out a little while ago from Walmart. Or well, mostly found at Walmart. I found them some other places, but mostly found at Walmart. I've actually picked up quite a few of these. If you follow Photogijoehero on Instagram, you'll notice I have these Disney Princess customs, and I had picked up a bunch of the Snakebites when she was by herself, and then also a bunch of these packs when they were clearing them out, and I customized them into what I guess you could call a Disney Princess action figure. I've done quite a few. I have my biggest customer is the owner of a store called BTNT Toys in Salt Lake City, Utah. But I take them and you know, find Disney heads that match the size roughly and paint them up so that they look a little bit closer to what you might see in one of the Disney princesses. So you can check out my Instagram feed on that, see what you will find on there. There's quite a few, range from, you know, Ariel to Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Cinderella. One of the favorite ones that I did is Ursula, though she actually doesn't use much of Snakebite's parts, but also Maleficent, who actually looks pretty cool, I think. Anyway, that's kind of a side story. So one of the things that I wanted to mention on this, so there was two females that came out with this series, and both of them, when they first came out, and I'll show you this one, they actually came out, and it might be a little tough to see, but they had a little more cleavage than you see on the later versions. And I don't know the exact story behind that. I can probably guess what that is. But what was kind of interesting is they go from, I don't know if I have one right off the top of my head, or I don't have one right handy, but if you'll notice that there is a cleavage on this one, but it's got the green shirt painted up there. The original one, that was all painted skin color. And then they went to taking the shirt and moving it up, and then they ended with this style where they just took the cleavage out. I don't know, I think it's kind of silly. It's not that big of a deal, but whatever. You know, people can do whatever they want. I know that the ones with cleavage are a little harder to find on eBay, but they all work out the same to me. So I'm going to open up both of these, actually, because I'm scheduled to work for or set up a booth at a local Salt Lake event where I'm going to be selling some of these, and I need to try to pound out some of these Disney figures. So just real quickly on the figure, the box and everything. The box is fine. I definitely like the smaller box. When they originally came out, they were one at a time, which I appreciated more because I could pick up a bunch of them, but I understand trying to throw other figures with it. The whole series is actually not too bad. They've come out with some newer ones that I've thought are even better. The Plague is a decent figure. Puma and Snakebite are the one that I have the most of. But some of these other ones are pretty good too. Rain is a cool one. I like Rain. A bunch of different molds for that series. The box isn't really displayable. I mean, it's okay. The artwork is really good. Ogre and Snakebite both look good, and the artwork on the back look pretty good. So it could be displayable. I don't have one out for display, mostly because the bodies are a little too valuable for me. I have about 1,300 ogres, so if anybody is wanting to get an ogre from me, let me know. Sell to you cheap. Anyway, we'll go ahead and open this one up. I've opened a lot of these boxes over the years. The figures in the box look fine. The pose is good. Ogre, he's a good figure. I guess his whole point is he's some kind of space guy. The painting on the skull is really cool. I've tried to replicate something, but that just doesn't work. They actually are good to take apart and kind of switch some pieces around. He's really thick, so it's tough to find other pieces that he looks right. And I'm not a big fan, again, of legs just going forward and back, but you know, that is what it is. His articulation is the knees, the legs bending, the arms, and the elbow, which is nice that they can go side to side besides just up and down. And then the head. So he's a good figure. One of the problems, and I'll pull his gun out, with the Core Elite figures is that they're not always able to hold their gun. I mean, look at the size of that. That's really not, if I put that in there, it's probably going to break. And his other hand is going to be very similar. So it's just kind of silly. But you do have the piece that sticks out, so you could put it over his shoulder so that he can stand there with his gun over his shoulder. Anyway, decent figure. Definitely could be better on a couple different things. The knees, the feet, hands actually fitting around the gun, and the guns, the weapons are all monotone, which is one of my things is I like to paint those. Okay, we'll go to Snakebite. Snakebite, I really like her. I have taken many of them apart. The wrist could swivel a little bit, but that's okay. They've worked really well for what I've done. The elbow and the shoulder are really good. It swivels around the chest. The head, which I like the heads better on the females because they're the ball and socket. These ones are all just flat. And then her legs aren't just straight up and down, which is nice. She's got the knee joints, could have used the ankle, and I'll never understand when they create an action figure why they don't put the holes in the bottom and give them a plate. That's tough to display them if they don't have a hole right there. The articulation is really good. Her pants don't really match up, so the paint is kind of off. Usually that's one of the things that I try to fix. Her head is good. I've found use for her head on other figures, but the shaved head look is interesting. Probably would have been better for me personally, if this space right here had been the same color as her hair, but you know, that's just my personal opinion. Nothing wrong with it. A lot of details on it. The camouflage is cool. Could have gone all the way around. But yeah, anyway, that's Snakebite, and she always comes with her handgun with the silencer, which I've painted that many times, and that goes in here and through the hole and holds there well. And then she comes with the crossbow, I guess in ode to Scarlet from G.I. Joe, but she's got a crossbow. And then she has these two knives, even though she has a knife on her ankle, she has these other two knives, and they go, this took me a long time to figure this part out, but they go on the back in those little notches. So there is Snakebite. Head doesn't fit quite right. I've seen some people kind of extend her a little bit to make her look a little taller, and that actually looks really good. But I think that she's great. I've done lots of work with her. I have probably purchased about 100, to be completely honest, of her over the years. Okay, that's Snakebite. And then I'll just open this one up just to show you the difference. Well, sorry about that. Difference in how she looks. Ogre is going to be the same. No change him. Hand is still too small for the gun. But the big difference for Snakebite is the cleavage. So that's the difference. Everything else is the same. I know I've looked at them thoroughly, so everything else is the same. Could figure the hair does change just a little bit sometimes, but that's about it. Anyway, that is Snakebite and Ogre from the Core Elite. I've really enjoyed those. It's really nice to have decently priced and decent figures. I've purchased a lot of these for my kids. They put them with G.I. Joe figures and Star Wars figures to, you know, give them a little bit of extra manpower on missions when they're playing. And you know, when they were out in Walmart, they were like $10 for the set. And actually, I think they even started less than that. And that's awesome. The whole point of this should be fun and should be collectible, and they should be able to enjoy playing with them. So, okay, that's Ogre and Snakebite. Thanks for joining. And if you can, subscribe. Take a look at what else I've got on Instagram. I'll get some posts of these characters as soon as possible, or I'll get them up when the episode premieres and share them on there. Okay, thanks everyone.